But then we had to tell him, was he bad? Oh. He says, well, he's gone right in the hospital tonight where he's protected. I can see that, you guys are not taking care of him. And they took him right to the hospital and put him in, and that was kind of sad because he cried.
Yeah,
He
missed his
didn't want
mama.
to go, and anyway, we saw him, but where they had him, these kids,
Isolation.
they had you could see them, but they couldn't see you. It was a glass, that kind of glass, you know. And he said, well, you could see him, but he can't see, because if he sees you, he'll cry again for you. And we'll take care of it. We know how to do it. We've got him won over. And they kept him for just a darn hernia operation. They kept him 3 solid weeks
Oh my land, 3
in the
weeks.
Philadelphia General Hospital.
Oh, wouldn't that be awful?
Yeah, I mean the University Hospital.
Claire ought to really be sick of hospital.
And-
Why did you go all the way to Philadelphia?
They wanted to be with them, have a trip.
They thought that'd be a good way for us to have a trip and we
I
get
think we
the
got free
operation
medical
free.
care.
You
too.
did have a
for a
fun
dollar.
time.
That's right, a dollar.
You went
This
up
is
to
a
New
fun-
York City and everything,
Oh yeah,
didn't
well,
you?
Uncle
No,
Doc
it's
couldn't go, but
mother's
Aunt Fern went. We
sister's
got on the
husband.
train and went to New York.
Fern.
And we had a good time. To New Jersey.
This was your sister and her husband,
He couldn't leave
Her
the
Fern.
older sister, Aunt Fern.
Aunt Fern and her.
He was
He
like
was a
he's
surgeon.
like Brad. He had to
Okay.
stay home and work at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we had a good time. We knew that Claire was taken good care of, and then Uncle Doc was in the hospital all the time. But this little nurse, she's telling me, she says, "Oh boy, he got the really good the care." He said, he says, "Dr. Hatch, nothing was too good for him. He got everything." And you know, Claire got us so the little cuss didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay there.
He thought it was pretty fun, huh?
Yeah. But Uncle Doc's, he's all those beautiful toys and everything, and so he said to Claire, he's only a little 4-year-old boy, well, about 4.5, I guess. He said, you know, a lot of these little boys and girls, they don't have a lot of toys. Wouldn't you like to, when now you're going to go home, wouldn't you like to leave these toys for them to play with? And I don't know what reaction Claire had, but I imagine he's thinking, I don't want to leave, I want this, I want that. He says, you pick out one thing that you like the best of all, and you can take it home with you. But the rest of it, we'll give to these other little boys and girls. Well, that's what they did. They give it all away. But Claire, when we went after him, he couldn't have cared less whether we come after him or not. And he sure did poop it up for
When you first
when we
went
left.
in.
Oh, he cried. Oh, he cried hard, and I could just hear him. I felt so bad. But they were sure good to us. But then we were so free to go and do things, you know.
Right.
Each of your children have had a very serious illness, haven't they?
Huh?
Each of your children have had a very serious illness. Each of your children have had a very serious illness, haven't they?
Uncle Doc?
No. Each of your children have had a very serious illness, every one of them.
Oh, that's what I say. I feel like I've had so darn much to be grateful for. You know, every one of you. Poor Claire, I don't know. He had his. And then you.
What did Larry have? What was wrong with Larry?
Oh, Larry was sick a lot. Poor little Larry. He was kind of. I don't know.
Didn't Larry get the Healthy Baby contest, though?
Yeah.
But Larry had typhoid fever, didn't he?
Yes, that's right. He did. That's in that old baby book.
How old was he?
Oh, just about 3 years old.
And then
And then Tamara.
Tamara, she had pneumonia, right? baby?
That was just about like a miracle. Hers.
Double pneumonia, huh?
Oh, double pneumonia.
We
Oh,
we didn't expect Tamara to live for a while, did we?
Oh no, she was the sickest little baby. Oh, when they took her to the hospital like that, she was. That lady that lived in the apartment in Grandma's house was there, and Aunt Fatty, and Aunt Fatty said after that we pulled off, Dr. Craig says we've got to get her to the hospital. He come to the house that morning. He says we got to get her to the hospital as quick as we can. She's a sick baby. And Aunt Fatty said that Mrs. Simmons said they'll never get to Logan. She said that baby was going blue. When they left, she was getting all blue. And oh dear, I knew she was awful sick. I'll tell you, we nearly lost her. They all did. We had so many people at that hospital. That's one thing about our family. Boy, did they have rally round. Boy, when the President Temple come to give Tamara that blessing, that room was so full of people. Just all around the room, from Franklin, Aunt Stell, Aunt Laura, and Uncle Grant, and of course all the others that I can't even remember all that was there, but the room was full. Oh, Isla, Leah, there's all there.
How old the baby was Tamara when she had the pneumonia? Was she just barely born?
About 2 months, I guess.
Well, she was only, let's see, how old was Tamara? She was just a little bit. Well, you could tell she was just a baby. We hadn't had her christened at all. And when we had President Quiddy, now President Quiddy was the president of the Canadian Mission. No? Wasn't it President Quiddy that came over to give the blessing to her?
I don't remember.
Wasn't President Quiddy a temple president in Wolgan?
Yeah, that's what you told me. You said it was the temple president that came over.
And anyway, he was going to just give her, because Dr. Barlow, that was the child specialist, and Dr. Craig and Bull said, if she hasn't got her name, our advice to you is to let her having her name. I thought, oh, that's the last of it. And so they got President Quiddy from the temple. He came over and they had her in the great big oxygen tent, not a little one, a great big one. And that Mrs. Barber was the head of all the nurses, and anyway, she was so good with pneumonia that they put her on Tamara's case. Head, the main nurse, they took Mrs. Barber. She was right there all the time until she had to have relief, and then she'd have to be relieved, and then somebody else would come on. But anyway, when this President Quiddy come and he stood there looking there, and he just took a hold of that plastic stuff that's over an oxygen tent, you know. She says, "You can't take her out of there." He says, "Oh, I wasn't going to take her out. I was just looking at her." So then he stood there and looked at her for quite a while, never said a word to any of us. He said, "Well, I feel, and had the feeling that she is going to get off. She's going to get over this. And I don't think that I should give her name today. I'll give her a health blessing though, and then when she gets better, you can take her where she should be, your church, your ward, and have her blessed." Oh, you know, but I thought that was I thought that he was probably just trying to make us feel good. But oh, he gave a wonderful blessing. Oh, gosh. I thought I could always remember what he said about that. I ken parts of it. But anyway, when he got through, he says, well, he said, you take good care of her, doll. He says, I'll check over, I'll come over again to the temple and take another look at her. And if she needs another blessing, he says, I'll be close so I could give you one. She started to get better just right straight. Not just as quick as you could flip your finger. It took quite a while. 'Cause she was just a little tiny baby.